Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel Electronic Control Unit. In today's presentation, we are going to see about AUTOSAR CAN SM module, which we call it as CAN State Machine module. Below are the topics which I am planning to cover in this presentation. Now let's see overview about the CAN SM module. In AUTOSAR BSWM stack, for each and every communication protocol, we have a specific state manager module. For example, for LIN, we have LIN SM module. For FlexRay, we have FRSM module. Similarly, for CAN, we have CAN SM module. This CAN SM module sits in the service layer of AUTOSAR. And this CAN SM module interacts directly with the ECU abstraction layer and other system service layers, system service module. And main task of this CAN SM module is to operate along with the CAN IF module to control the underlying CAN controllers and the CAN transceiver drivers. And also it plays a very important role in CAN bus of recovery mechanism. Now let's see the communication modes in the CAN SM. CAN SM gets the communication mode request from the common module. CAN SM has three major network modes, which we call it as CAN SM no com, CAN SM silent com, and CAN SM full com. This is same as common no com, common silent com, and common full com. That is, the functionality is same as common no com, common silent com, and common full com. This network mode request is given by the common module. So common gives the network mode request to CAN SM. This CAN SM informs the network mode change to CAN IF. Once CAN IF changes the transceiver state machine, controller state machine, when the mode change is successful, it gives a bus mode indication request, or which we call it as CAN IF calls the bus mode indication API, which is present in the CAN SM module, with which CAN SM will understand that transition has happened properly. So CAN SM calls the API of CAN IF module to inform the mode change to CAN controller and CAN transceiver. This CAN IF module informs CAN SM whether mode change is successful or not via the API, which we call it as bus mode indication API. Based on this mode change API, CAN SM informs the common module about the mode change completion, whether it is successful or not. Okay, this is the state machine of CAN SM module. To show you in Zoom format, I thought we'll go directly to the AUTOSAR PDF. So we have, as I told, we have three major state. We call it as full com, silent com, and no com. Initially, whenever the power is on, it will be in CAN SM BSWM not initialized state. After which CAN SM init API is called, it will go to pre-no com. Then once the bus mode indication API is called, that is CAN SM bus mode indication API is called, from pre-no com it will move to no com. And from no com it might go to two states. One is pre-full com and other is BSWM wake up validation. If wake up validation is enabled for that particular ECU, then once ECM calls CAN SM start wake up source API. ECU means ECM module will call CAN SM start wake up source API. Once that API is called, it will go to this state, BSWM wake up validation. And once the validation is successful, COMM will give the full COM request to CANSM via this trigger T full COM mode request, after which it will go to pre-full COM. In pre-full COM, what happens? CANSM will inform CANIF about the mode change request, so that CANIF will control the transceiver and controller. So what does it mean, controlling the transceiver? CANIF has an API which we call it as CANIF_op mode, and in that particular API, what happens is CANIF module has code which controls the CAN transceiver pins, basically mainly enable pin and stub pin. So the CAN transceiver, we have majorly two states which we call it as transceiver normal and transceiver standby. If it is in normal state only, all transmission and reception is possible. If to be in that particular state, the enable and stub pin should be made high. So that part of code will already be present in the SIP which we get from the vector actually. So likewise, if we want to put the transceiver in standby mode, then we need to make this enable and stub pin to low. So this particular code will be present in the CANIF module. So once CANSM gives a CANIF set transceiver mode request to, calls the CANIF set transceiver mode API, inside the CANIF module, CANIF set op mode API will be called, where the enable and stub pins of the transceiver will be controlled. So this part will be happening in the pre-full COM. After which, once CANIF gives a mode indication request, that is bus mode indication API, CANSM mode indication API, once CANIF calls CANSM mode indication API, from pre-full COM, it will go to full COM. That is, once CANIF gives a successful mode change request to CANSM, then from pre-full COM, it will move to full COM. So the difference between full COM and pre-full COM is, in pre-full COM, flow is from CANSM to CANIF. Once CANIF gives a successful mode change request to CANSM, then it will move to full COM. So from full COM, when COMM gives a silent COM request, it will go to silent COM. If at all we need to change the baud rate, which can happen only when CANSM is in full COM, state transition will be from full COM to change baud rate. This particular state will be changed. Then from silent COM, once COMM gives a no COM request, it will go to pre-no COM, where CAN transceiver and controller, means CANSM informs CANIF and CANIF controls the transceiver and controller. Once successful transition happens, CANIF gives a mode change request to mode change indication to CANSM, based on which from pre-no COM it will go to no COM. So this is the brief about the state machine of CANSM. We have three states which we call it as no COM, full COM and silent COM. From no COM, if wake up validation is enabled, once ECM calls start wake up source, means CANSM start wake up source API, it will move to this state. If wake up validation is not enabled, directly from no COM it will move to pre-full COM. And in the pre-full COM, CANSM will give the request to CANIF. Once CANIF processes the request successfully, it will give a callback to CANSM, after which it will move to full COM. From full COM, whenever COMM gives a silent COM request, it will move from full COM to silent COM. And when from silent COM, when COMM gives a no COM request, from silent COM it will move to no COM, pre-no COM. In pre-no COM, CANSM informs CANIF, and once CANIF gives a successful indication, mode change indication, then from pre-no COM it will be shifted to no COM. This is the overview about the state machine of CAN. Now let's see, we saw some triggers, right? Like some trigger like T underscore. So some of the major triggers, let's see. Main trigger is T start wake up source. This particular trigger will happen whenever wake up validation is enabled. How it is done? Usually ECM will call ECM start wake up source. This particular API definition will be written by the developer. So it is the developer's responsible, since this call is into an integration code. This integration code responsibility is developer actually. So the developer will call CAN-SM start wake up source. Whenever this is called, wake up validation state, it will be moved. That is this state, it will be moved. Then we have one other API which we call it as stop wake up source. When wake up validation fails, in that case, same ECM will call stop wake up source. Inside the stop wake up source API, developer would have called CAN-SM stop wake up source API. So this you can see here. So once wake up validation is failed, wake up validation failed, this trigger will be called, where from wake up CAN-SM BSW wake up validation state, it will move to pre-no-com based on this trigger, tree stop wake up source. This trigger in turn means what? Calling of CAN-SM API. CAN-SM API, namely CAN-SM underscore stop wake up source, which we saw here. CAN-SM stop wake up source. Then we have T full com mode request. Where is that present? T full com mode request is present here. Here and here. So who will trigger this? COMM will trigger this. That is, COMM will call CAN-SM request COM mode with the COM mode parameter equal to COMM full communication. COMM full communication. So whenever CAN-SM request COM mode is called with the parameter of this API as full com, then this particular trigger will be made. Similarly, T no com mode request. Where is this present? T no com mode request. So it is present here. Whenever COMM calls COMM CAN-SM request COM mode with COMM mode parameter equal to COMM no com, then this particular trigger will be executed. Similarly, we have T bus off. This T bus off is present here. So this T bus off, when it will be called, when it will be triggered, whenever the callback function CAN-SM controller bus off API is called. Then we have T repeat max. Where is this present? Here it is present. So T repeat max is nothing but CAN-SM will call CAN-IF set controller mode to set the controller state. So if CAN-IF does not return EOK to CAN-SM, that is, if controller state is not properly set for a given amount of time and given within the given amount of time, then this T repeat max trigger will be executed. That is, CAN-SM calls CAN-IF set controller mode API to set the controller state. if CANIF does not return EOK for configured time, then CANSM shall trigger the state machine with T repeat max. Okay, so what will happen if T repeat max is called? It will move from full com to no com. No com. Now let's see effect. Effect is nothing but it will start with E underscore pre no com, E underscore full com is there, right? These we call it as effect. Effect is nothing but action which happens. So whenever effect pre no com is called, where it is present, this here it is present, and also here it is present. So whenever E pre no com is called, CANSM will call BSWM underscore CANSM current state API with the current state as CANSM BSWM no com. That is, CANSM will inform BSWM that current state is changed to no com. Similarly, E no com. E no com is not internally state change will happen to common no com. Then we have E full com. Okay, this E full com, where it is present here. So this E full com has two parts. If ECU passive mode is disabled, if ECU passive is false, then in that case CANSM will call CANIF set PDU mode with PDU mode parameter as CANIF offline. Similarly, if ECU passive is true, that is ECU is in passive mode, then CANSM will call CANIF set PDU mode API with parameter PDU mode request as CANIF TX offline active. What is the difference actually is, if passive mode is enabled, transmission should be disabled, only reception. ECU is available only for reception actually. So we need to stop the transmission, and hence PDU mode will be changed to CANIF TX offline active. In case passive mode is not enabled, then transmission should also be enabled. So CANIF online. PDU mode is changed to CANIF online. Then we have E full to silent com. Where it is present? Here it is. Full to silent com. What happens in that state? CANSM informs BSW that current state is changed to silent com and the PDU mode will be set to offline since it has moved to silent com, and this is the mode indication API which I was saying actually. Common means CANSM will call common. Bus system is CANSM here. So CANSM will call common underscore CANSM mode indication with com mode as common silent com. So mode indication API, here we have to understand what is the mode indication API. These mode indication APIs are nothing but it's a callback API. Here this mode indication API is a callback from CANSM to common. Similarly, we have mode indication API between CANIF and CANSM. So in that case, what will be the name of the API? Since the mode indication API is present in CANSM module, we call it as CANSM underscore CANIF mode indication. So what will happen in that particular mode indication API? If transceiver controller mode has got changed properly, it will be informed to CANSM. CANIF will inform that to CANSM via the mode indication API name. What is the name of that mode indication API? CANSM underscore CANIF underscore mode indication. Then let's see two major parameters which is configurable parameter. In the dormancy configurator we usually configure it. We call it as CANSM mode request repetition time and mode request repetition max. What is mode request repetition time, the time duration, the CAN-SM will repeat CAN-IF mode change request. That is, if a mode request is not indicated by the CAN-IF within this particular time, then again mode request will be given by the CAN-SM module. So this is the maximum amount of time CAN-SM will wait for CAN-SM underscore CAN-IF mode indication API to be called by the CAN-IF module. So within that particular time, if controller and transceiver hasn't changed to that particular mode, to the requested mode, then again the mode change request will be given. How much time again and again the mode change request will be given for not successful transition? That is configured in CAN-SM mode request repetition max. This determines the maximum number of mode change requests without a respective mode indication, that is CAN-IF not indicating to CAN-SM before the CAN-SM reports an error to DET. And if at all, say 3 is the value of request repetition max, for 3 times if there is no if CAN-IF doesn't call this mode indication API, then CAN-SM will indicate a error to DET and it will go back to NOCOM. Okay, these are the important APIs which we need to know. First is CAN-IF set transceiver mode. This is called by CAN-SM to set the transceiver modes of the CAN transceiver modes. To set the CAN transceiver modes. What are all the major transceiver modes? We call it as transceiver mode normal, transceiver mode standby. As I told earlier, this is nothing but in the transceiver mode normal, enable and the step pin of the transceiver will be high. In the standby mode, enable and step pin will be made low. So only if it is in normal, transmission reception will be possible. In standby, it will not be possible actually. And we have CAN-IF set controller mode, which is used to set the controller mode. What are all the major controller modes? We call it as CAN underscore CS stopped, started and sleep. And we have set PDU mode. This is nothing but CAN-SM will call CAN-IF set PDU mode once bus mode indication API is called by CAN-IF. So once bus mode indication API is called by CAN-IF, CAN-SM will call CAN-SM set PDU modes. And what are all the major PDU modes? CAN-IF online, CAN-IF offline active and CAN-IF TX offline. Then we have API which we call it as CAN-SM request COM mode. This API, who is using it? COMM will use it actually to request the mode change. So if at all COMM needs to go to NOCOM, the parameter of this CAN request API, CAN request COM mode API will be NOCOM. Okay. This will be have a brief of what is happening when there is a full COM request given to CAN-SM module. So COMM will call CAN-SM request COM mode with parameter as full COM. In that case, what happens? The CAN-SM will indicate CAN-IF and this CAN-IF will set the transceiver mode to normal and the controller mode to started. Once CAN-SM receives bus mode indication API, then CAN-IF will set the RX and TX PDU mode to online using CAN-IF set PDU mode API. And then it also informs COMM and BSW about the new communication state. For transition to NOCOM, what happens? CAN-SM informs BSWM about the communication CAN-SM NOCOM immediately if the transition shutdown process has been started. So once common CAN-SM NOCOM transition has started, CAN-SM will inform BSWM. Then the CAN-SM will set the controller to sleep via the CAN-IF API only through stopped, that is CAN controller state will be changed from started, stopped, then it will be put into sleep state. It will be put into sleep state. Likewise, for in case of transceiver, it will be from normal to standby. You can see here normal, then it goes to wait state, then it is standby. In case of controller, once NOCOM request is given, it will move to stopped, then stopped wait, then it goes to sleep. So here we can see clearly what happens actually. Major part of CAN-SM is to control the CAN transceiver and CAN controller. So whenever we move to full COM, CAN-SM will majorly call these APIs actually. First full COM request will be given by this API. Once this full COM request is given, CAN-SM will call set transceiver mode with parameter as normal, and set controller mode will be called with initially parameter as stopped, then again it will be called with the parameter as started. So these APIs plays an important role. Once we call it, once CAN-IF gives a bus mode indication change request, that is once a successful transition is made in the transceiver and controller, then set PDU mode will be, API will be called by the CAN-SM. If it is full COM, then PDU mode will be moved to CAN-IF online, provided ECU is not in the passive mode. If it is in passive mode, it will be moved to CAN-IF TX offline active. So hope you understood what does CAN-SM does. Thank you for your time.